Hello there. I've picked up an Amstrad CPC 6128 in original condition, shall we say. Yeah, I bought this thing just before Christmas and it's been kind of hanging around, so I thought I'll dig it out and I'll do something with it. At the very least, I want to see if it works. I've no idea. It was bought as untested, so read into that what you want, really. So yeah, I think it's actually a Spanish model. I was looking at the stickers that are on it, and it's absolutely filthy and revolting as well, so if it does work it's going to need a good clean up. So let's have a closer look. Yeah, so it looks like it might have had a bit of a hard life, this thing. It's a bit grotty. It is the disk drive model. I've been after one of these for a while. Looks like the flap's missing for the disk drive cover. It isn't, it is there, it's just come off the spring. Awful lot of scrapes in it. And of course we've got the Spanish keyboard. What have we got around the side? Joystick port, presumably. Audio port. I don't know what that is. I assume it's something to do with the cassette player. I'll have to look it up. On the back, one-handed. Printer port, handily relabeled in English. It's an expansion port. Now we've got the power ports. So it needs 5 volts DC and 12 volts DC as well. Of course, originally this was powered from a monitor that came with the package. External floppy, power switch and volume control. And let me tell you, that power switch doesn't feel very clever at all. But we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, I think it's probably worth looking inside it first before I put any power to it. Just in case it's been interfered with and who knows, I don't know. I'll check it out inside first. Make sure nothing's going to explode on me, or nothing's already exploded. You just don't know, do you? Do you know what? I've seen worse. I mean, not for a while, but I've seen worse. I had an Electron about a year ago, which was much, much dirtier than this, but it's not good. It's just a bit grim. But I can't see anything that looks like damage or anything that's missing. So I suppose I can just go and I'll throw some power to it and see what happens. Bad idea? Maybe. We'll see. Right, I think with this 12 volt connector I need sense pin negative. 5 volt sense pin positive, so I think my 464 hookup will work for that just fine. But I'm going to have to do something with this. Right, so just to confirm the polarity of this 12 volt supply, I've got this on resistance checking. If I just take the centre pin there and earth it, I know what the earth strap for the disk drive will do. Yeah. Definitely centre pin negative on that. Worth checking. Right, so what I do have is a few of these little connectors, little barrel sockets, and I'm just going to make up a temporary cable. If the computer works fine, I'll put something together a bit more permanent than this, but just right here, right now, just to get some power to it to test it. If I just wire a couple of these together, so I can power up this. It's just a very cheap 12 volt switching power supply. The plug on the end. I can plug one into there. One into there. And just a couple of wires to swap the polarity round. That should work. As I said, it's all temporary. If it works, I'll do something a bit more permanent, but I just want to test it right now. So, a little bit scruffy, but let's just see what we're getting voltage wise. So, that I believe is the positive, the negative. .4. Oh, it's close enough. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Excellent. See what we can get going. So I've got my little inverter cable. Plug that back into the board for the 12 volts. Right, let's give it some power. I may be leaping to pull this plug back out again very quickly, but we'll see. Oh, look at that. Look at that, first go. Fantastic. Well, I did not expect it to be that easy. I am surprised. And I thought that switch was off as well, but obviously not. Switch all seems to work anyway. Okay, wow, it powers up. I am surprised. Right, next I think clean up, recap, have a look at that disk drive I suppose. Wow, really surprised. Wonder if I can get the disk drive to respond. Disk missing. I could put one in it. Hang on. Okay, let's give it a go. Try it now. No, that doesn't want to work at all. Doesn't even want to spool up. Okay, something to be getting on with. At least the keyboard seems to work. Okay, I may have found the reason for the disk drive failure. Let me repair that and we'll try again. Right, cable repaired. Should we try again? Ugh. Okay, well the motor's running. Oh yeah. I think the belt's gone. To be expected really. I mean, you can't really complain. Okay. I'll get one of those ordered. Right, my belt's on order. So what can I be getting on with in the meantime? I think we take it apart, we give it a clean. I'll see if I've got capacitors in me bag of bits. If not, I'll order those as well, and I might as well just change those out. And then I can give everything a bit of a clean as well. So let's start with this noisy bugger. How does this come out? else? Is that the only thing holding this in? Yeah. Okay. Disconnect you. Oh yeah. I can see bits of belt underneath it already. Look at that. That brittle piece of plastic. Oh, it's just crumbling in my hands. That's the belt. That's fine. That's fine. Air in a can. I think I first saw that on Spaceballs. I've gone through my bag of bits and it turns out I do have all the capacitors I need to recap this. So I'm going to go through and do that, then give the board a bit of a clean up because it's disgusting, and then I can put that part of the computer back to bed. Right, well that horrible job's done, and I've just powered it up just to make sure it's still working, and it does. So they're all changed apart from this one right there, because that is a 1 microfarad 50 volt bipolar capacitor and I don't have one. And I've tried a couple of suppliers and I can't seem to find one either, so until I do, that's not getting changed. But there you go. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up for tonight because I'm hungry. I want to go and eat something and then I'm going to go and sleep because I'm exhausted. It's getting very dark outside. So I will continue with this tomorrow. Right, so it's the next day. And where was I up to with this thing? Yeah, I just changed all the capacitors. We know it works. I think the only thing this board now needs is a good clean. So, I don't know if you can see it, but the edge connectors are disgusting. This one I've already had a little go at. It's quite pitted, but I don't think that's going to affect its operation too much. And all I've done with that is I got a pencil eraser and gave it a rub. So let's try that again with this one. Seemed to work quite well. Yeah. Yeah, already you can see the difference in it. So I'll go ahead, I'll do the rest of these edge connectors and then I'll get some alcohol on the board and give it a proper scrub down. the volume control and the power switch are disgusting, so I suppose I'll give them a clean as well. And that power switch, it really doesn't feel too clever either. It seems to work fine, it it feels a bit crunchy. So before it does fail, let's see if we can do something with it. Where was this thing stored? Oh. There we go. That feels a lot better. Although it didn't look too bad when I cracked it open. Right, so board's clean. I've washed the bottom of the case out as well, and it's looking a lot better, but it does still have, I don't know if they're going to show up very well on the camera, but there's a lot of scratches and gouges and what have you in it. So I'm going to try a little bit of just black wax for car trim. Give that a go and just see if that takes some of these out. You never know. Well, it's not got rid of the scratches, but it's deadened them a lot, so it is an improvement. Made a mess of my desk though, but never mind. Okay, I can start reassembling things back into the bottom case, I suppose. I'll sort out the cable management properly once the disk drive's back in. But I can't do the disk drive until the belt turns up. So, because my videos tend to be pretty long, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this down into 2 parts. So I'll probably stop this here. And then when my belt arrives, I'll continue with the disk drive. And I'll have a look at the keyboard and the top of the case as well. But for right here, right now, we'll call this a work in progress. And we'll get back to it when things arrive. So I'll see you soon. Bye.